Today I'm going to show you how to make a parallelogram city. You'll need a ruler for this. You'll also need a pencil, but I'm going to use a Sharpie so that you can see it really well on my paper. Remember, if you use a pencil, you can always erase. To make a parallelogram, it's kind of like a square that's been tilted. So the first thing we're going to do on our paper is we're going to make a whole bunch of parallelograms towards the top middle of our paper because we want the buildings to come down because we're making a city. So if you start, you can take your ruler, and we're just using it as a straight edge, we're not measuring. You're going to make one line straight. I'm going to move my ruler up here. And I'm not going to start it right at the same spot as my other line. I'm going to go kind of diagonally across. And I'm going to go over till it reaches a little farther down. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to match up those two lines. And I'm going to connect them. And that makes a parallelogram. It's kind of like a diamond, but not quite. If you know how to make a diamond, it's just a short jump to a parallelogram. You can also start by drawing your lines in diagonally, but you have to watch out because you need to batch up the bottom sides. It doesn't have to be perfect though, because this is art. There's a lot of room for mistakes. So I'm going to hold my ruler on this side, I'm going to match up my two lines. I'm going to make maybe 5 or 6 of them on here. I can put some in the middle. That will help you see when buildings overlap what to do. So I went a little bit farther so that the lines, they're parallel to each other, but they're not even. That's the key to making a parallelogram. Again, it's kind of like a box that someone has pushed so that it's leaning one direction. And this is going to turn into our city. And you'll find when you make parallelograms that there's a way that you prefer making them. You might like making them in a different way. Just do one more over here. We'll make this kind of a big one. Maybe I'll try it this way, see what happens. Now if you wanted to, you could, all my lines right now are going diagonally the same direction. You could change the diagonal to go the other way. Sometimes that makes our brains kind of, I'm just trying to match those up so that they're straight still. It makes our brain work a little harder to change directions. We get used to doing something one way and our brain kind of wants to stay doing it that way. So now that I have my parallelograms, we're going to turn this into a city. I'm going to start by the ones that are down towards the bottom and work my way towards the top. So each one of these corners is going to be the side of our building. So you can bring it down straight, you can bring it down curvy, and we're going to come all the way down to the bottom of our page here. We're not going to see the bottom of our city. Maybe we want to do this one a little on the diagonal. I'm going to come to this one next. If I were to come into this point and draw that down, my building would be hollow. So we're going to leave that because this is actually the roof of our building. Maybe we want to do some diagonals. We can do a fun looking city. It doesn't have to be the kind that we see in Minneapolis. This is your turn to be the designer of a city. I'm going to start with this one next because these two are kind of on the top. I'm going to come down. Maybe we have a fat building. And then we've got this one right here, so we'll come down here. Maybe this is another fat building. So I'm going to make my lines kind of curve. Because it curved into this building, this one's in front, so it's going to overlap a little bit. Very interesting looking buildings, I think. This one you'll see even more how they overlap. We're going to draw the line down here, but we're going to stop because this building's in front. It's covering up part of that building. So we'll come down with this line. It looks like I hit this corner, but there's still some space here, so I'm going to finish drawing that part of the building. And then we've got this side of the building. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings drawn in. If you want to, you can go and you can make even more buildings in here. And then next we're going to be coloring in our parallelogram city and making some invaders.